Okay, here we go again, folks. Hi, welcome, dear Pisces. That's you. This is Tarot Lumination with your mini love and relationship report for the April 2018 season. I hope you enjoyed the last few months of all planets going direct, because as you know, in April and the end of March, things are starting to go retrograde for a lot of planets. So we might feel things like get all churned up and stuck and so on, but it's okay. The whole idea is to start integrating what we just flowed through for the last few months and making it work somehow. It's a bit of a choppy month because the energy is changing significantly, and I'll probably have to do a completely separate video for the astrology. We'll see. Okay. Anyway, we're going to just do the same that we've done before. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals, and just call it out using this love and relationship spread, where it's on the understanding that there's you, dear Pisces, a significant other, and the third party thing is the relationship itself, on the understanding that the relationship has an identity and structure of its own, which needs to be understood and respected to make the best of love and relationship. Not everybody operates that way, but with Tarot Illumination, that's how we read them. Okay, you can watch this for singles if you want to, if you allow for the laws of attraction, in that you are always radiating energy, which can attract or repel a significant other, depending. Either way, we are always attracting and repelling energy. So you could consider the other person over here as a kind of what-if scenario. I hope that helps you for the singles. Okay, so here we go. Let's just see what's coming up. Okay. Please bring in your angels to the reading. Tarot Illumination angels are here, sharing with you. It's a team effort, folks, okay? So here we go. Cards are shuffled, cards are cut. Bless this reading, okay? This would be you, dear Pisces. This would be a significant other. This would be deep down inside of you, more or less at the soul level, deep down inside of another at their soul level, and at the core, the relationship itself here, okay? So this will have some momentum to it, like a flow. We're always in a state of flow, even with all these retrogrades starting to pile up. We're going to look at this in a second. This will be circumstantial energy, the weather, and like most people, Pisces, let's make the best of it, okay? Don't take it personally, okay? So we have the Hangman here. So my feeling is that, Pisces, you're probably dealing with the aftershock and after effects of the heavy Pisces stellium that happened through most of March. And the energy is shifting now with Chiron moving into Aries. So it's going to be a really different shift, to the point where you could feel a little bit unhinged, and taking some time over the next few months to reorient yourself in your whole being, which will have an impact on your relationships as well. So I'm not saying this is like the hangover effect. This is more like that feeling of having been dinged over the head with a frying pan and then having to keep going as if nothing happened. So you might have had to learn a lot and integrate a lot over the last month or so. And now we're shifting energy again, so it could be very disorienting for you. Okay, Pisces? So let's please allow for that in the reading, okay? And it could lead you to feeling a little bit disembodied, where you're observing your life as though you're watching a movie of you. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here? Okay, well, lucky you got this going on, because the Ace of Cups here to me is the ultimate card of opportunity in terms of love in its highest expression. So even though you might not be fully in grasp or owning everything that has come through for you in March, my feeling is that the opportunity is here now, coming through the April season, to integrate and start to own all that stuff that you had to learn, that you had to endure, that you enjoyed for the couple of previous months where everything was in flow. Even if it was a bit choppy, the whole idea was to bring love to the surface, bring the energy of love and healing to the surface. And so now it is here, it is fully present, and it is the energy of opportunity, sacred opportunity. So it's important to understand that and grab it while it's here. Okay, and even if we don't fully know what we're doing, just understand, Pisces, that you're radiating this anyway, and almost like a default setting. So that it puts you in a strong position. It doesn't guarantee love and bliss and happiness. It just means that you're resonating and radiating these types of frequencies, which is extremely alluring, extremely appealing at the most high-end spiritual aspects of love as expressed in a loving relationship. How that translates down into 3D, that's a whole other story. Let's have a look at a significant other. Well, with the Nine of Cups here, we're looking at the energy of happiness from the inside out, where for a significant other, their sense of happiness and joy isn't really contingent upon you or anyone or anything else. It's just internal, and it's like they're owning it anyway. And sometimes that's not obvious at all. Some people are very deliciously happy from the core on the inside out, but you would never know because they might have this challenge or this ailment or this condition or this seeming disability or impairment. And yet from the inside out, there's something that they have that is radiating happiness itself, and that they're deliberately choosing to own it. Okay, so at first glance, this looks very complimentary, Pisces, that you're radiating the Ace of Cups. It's almost like you're looking for the chance to meet someone who has all this in order to be a reflection of what is unfolding now, the opportunities now that are unfolding inside of you. In other words, these are very complementary from my perspective as your reader here. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to happen. What I'm sensing is that the essence of love is flowing. It is in the flow, and the opportunity is there for a significant other who is owning their own happiness to be able to relate to you, which would be like a reflection indicating that you, Pisces, are doing a decent job, at least at the very initial phases, a decent job of like radiating love at the very most core essential part of yourself that would translate into, let's say, a conducive conditions with a relationship, a significant other over here. In other words, it's almost like love meets love, happiness meets happiness, love equals happiness, happiness equals love. Have you ever heard that expression? Guys say it sometime. So this is for anybody, any gender, but guys say it sometime. Happy wife equals happy life, you know? And so they make it their mission to make sure that their wife is happy or their girlfriend is happy or something. So anyway, I just threw that in there for fun. So let's have a look, going deeper. Okay, I feel we're very much dealing with the Chiron and Pisces energy here that's been going on, especially at the closing degrees here, the 28, 29 degrees, where everything is amplified, like all the worst of the worst things that still remained to be exposed in order for the revealing and so that the healing can occur. It's all kind of happening right now here in April as we move out of the March heavy Pisces energy, which was kind of your world anyway. Now moving into the Aries energy is quite different for you, Pisces. It would be touching on your sense of self-worth, your value, your values, your worth to the other, the other's worth to you, and so on. And so one of the things about Chiron energy and with the Tarot Lumination channel in general is that the real emphasis is about love and healing. And even in the context of love and relationship, we don't do fortune telling here. So my feeling is that at the soul level, what's happening is, as uncomfortable as it might be, or as beautiful as it might be, to realize that you have the opportunity for something truly loving and genuine from the inside out here, which would attract something equivalent over here externally in 3D. It's as a consequence of having endured like the worst scenarios that you could imagine about what might happen in a relationship. All your deepest fears in love, in relationship, having come to the surface and still bubbling up to the surface. I think what happened in March for a lot of people is that there was like a big squeeze to get out, squeeze out everything that needs to be revealed in order for the healing. And that's kind of what I feel is happening here. And I know it's going to sound like a total paradox here, but that's a good thing. So like as you conduct yourself through your life here, through this time period called April, radiating this energy of pure love, it's on the understanding that it includes the whole of you, which includes all your flaws and damage and suffering that are fully on display at the soul level inside of you, which is inevitably going to, let's say, resonate out of you and resonate back through limbic resonance from a significant other. I know these cards look too highly contradictory, and in some ways they are, but in some ways this feels to me like a significant other can be like the soothing balm for you at the soul level, while you need that love and healing from a significant other in the context of a significant relationship. And that kind of healing, in other words, it's all, I guess what I'm trying to say is that this is a tremendous opportunity to allow the last fading remnants of all the deepest wounds that have been exposed to be exposed, so that the healing power of love can flow and move into your life as expressed in the context of what would appear to be a love relationship. But it's your reading, it's about you, and to me it really feels it's about the love and the healing that occurs in a relationship once you get into the depths and the core of it, and all the most tender, painful stresses and wounds are uncovered and revealed. So let's have a look at the other. To me, this looks like a harmonizing and a balancing energy here, where with the Six of Pentacles, it's almost like, Pisces, you may be dealing with a significant other who they might not be able to express it too clearly and openly in a, let's say, a mechanical way, like a kitchen table conversation in a relationship. But at the soul level, it looks to me that they're radiating something wholesome here. In other words, bringing things into balance and harmony, helping you to understand how much you are appreciated, and at the same time maintaining their own integrity of self. It's almost like them saying, like, it's okay, Pisces, I get it, I totally understand, we all suffer the same miserable doo-doo, and I've endured the same thing as well, and I am here to support you in your own new opportunity to love and grow, and we're just going to bring things back into harmony, balance. I'm going to provide and do what I can, and I'm going to keep myself together too. So I'm not going to in other words, they're not going to sacrifice themselves for you, on it, like put you on an altar or a pedestal and diminish themselves. They're going to maintain their integrity, their independence, their happiness from a position of stability and, let's say, comfort, knowing that they have the reserves to share with you as you go through this very tender moment. In other words, like the March season could have been the exposure of all of this, and now coming into April, this is the chance for you to capitalize, to integrate all that, especially with the retrogrades, because Jupiter in Scorpio is still in very harmonious energy with the remnants of Pisces energy. There's still Neptune up there, for example. So to me, this looks like you, Pisces, are relating with someone who has their own sense of integrity and happiness from the inside out, and enough to spare where they can share that with you. Now, it might not be obvious or apparent, because sometimes in the process of revealing for the healing, things can get very uncomfortable. But it looks to me that the intention is still good. The intention is pure, and that by understanding your own fragility in this situation and allowing for a significant other or others to, let's say, invest in you, and now it's your time, your turn to receive, that can be very satisfying for them. The process of giving and receiving that occurs in relationships, I think, is a very important component of the relationship, where both parties like learn from each other and teach each other about what pleases each other and what pleases the other, and then learning how to do that. In other words, how to nurture and care for each other in a way that works and generates more love and more happiness, as opposed to relationships where people deplete each other, like trying to get what they can out of the relationship by strip mining energy out of the other person, or strip mining energy out of the other person. I see this as very harmonious and kindness and generous, and that you, Pisces, are on the receiving end because you deserve it and you need it. Let's have a look at the core itself. Well, without knowing any details of you, Pisces, it looks to me that at the core of the relationship dynamic here is like the desire to make this work, the desire to capitalize on the opportunity now that you sense, Pisces, for, let's say, opening the floodgates for the healing power of love to move into your life in the context of a loving relationship. Remember, this is you, this is a significant other, this would, like, the relationship dynamic itself, and this is the crucible, the structure of the relationship in which the love is exchanged, where we intimate, we separate, we intimate and we separate on a continuous, never-ending flow. And my feeling just right now is that the flow is very beneficial to you and for you, and it's coming towards you, and it's dynamic, it's active, and it's deliberate. It's almost like somebody out there, let's say the significant other, is sensing the gateway, the doorway opening for you to be receptive. In other words, in a very, very humble, perhaps very painful, disorienting way, it's almost like we're doing what we do on the show sometimes, where it's almost like having to be, not having to be, but very deeply humbled and realizing, oh my gosh, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am open to receive, I am ready, I am willing, I am able to receive. And it is about time. And look what's happening. You're actually receiving, Pisces. And it might feel very shocking and painful to you in some ways, because sometimes, Pisces, you're so sacrificial, you lose yourself, and you don't realize how much love that you deserve. And you can end up martyring yourself for others, which is not really productive. It's almost self-destructive, and that doesn't need to happen. To me, this is an indication that you're in a flow at the moment where it's okay for you to be on the receiving end of good love, because you need it. And it's very, very pure, and this is just simply what you're attracting. Because the deep soul pain, I feel, is acknowledged and known by a significant other. They see you as worthy of receiving the love that they can offer without them depleting themselves. And this is very nutritious for the relationship. It actually buoys the relationship up. And as I feel like we go through the month, this energy will start to amplify, and you'll start to understand what I'm talking about here, because this is very nebulous energy, very hard to understand. Okay, over here, where does this take us? So my feeling here is that, going back to the Hanged Man, my feeling is that in the April period, it's going to be disorienting for you as you integrate, as you do a lot of the integrating. Remember, Mercury is just flipping retrograde, and it's going to be retrograde for at least a good half of the month. And then, hold on, let me just check something. And then later in the month, Saturn goes retrograde. So it's going to be a kind of a strange month as the energy shifts and changes. My feeling is that it's going to be a month of reorientation after disorientation. In other words, coming into the month kind of disoriented, like we talked at the very beginning, like you know, that feeling where you have to bang your head and go, what the bleep just happened? Well, that's how things begin. And I think later on in the month, what will happen is, as the, you know, if you imagine getting dinged over the head with a frying pan, eventually it goes ding, 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 like in those old-fashioned cartoons. And then you start to wake up to see the new opportunities unfolding for you as the healing actually occurs, as the flow of love that comes into a relationship revitalizes the energy of relationship and starts to trigger like the classic Aries type energy of like, well, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? And that's what I feel. And then it's like getting back into being a kid again, like being a happy kid again. So you and a significant other can like capitalize on this flow energy here. Understand that you got dinged around quite a bit, but you're coming out through the other side okay, and new prospects are going to unfold. This is still very youthful, new energy here, and it does require having to make decisions about what to do next. And that's a wide open prospect here, so I'm not going to even dare to go in that. But it looks like Aries, in classic Aries format, it's all about opening new beginnings, new doorways here, new opportunities for you in the area of love and relationship, Pisces. It's just that you might have had to go through this like very disorienting phase to get to here, okay? So I'm actually happy for you. I think you're strong enough to handle this. And just always ask for the healing power of love to fill your life from up above. Ask for the healing power of love to fill your loved one from up above. Ask for the healing power of love to fill your relationships from up above. Okay? So I'm going to leave that with you now, Pisces, and you can reinterpret however you want. I know a lot of you have done this before, and you're good readers yourselves anyway. So make the most of it. Thank you so much. Have a super April. Bye-bye.